Let's dive in!
Kiryu Kazuma and Ichiban Kasuga are two sides of the same Like a Dragon coin. Their personalities couldn't be more different. Kiryu is a world-weary lone wolf, and Kasuga, a Dragon Quest-loving golden retriever.
Oh, no freaking way!
But they live by a similar code of ethics, and they share a similar past. Both were locked up for crimes they didn't commit to help out their Yakuza families. It was a bummer that Kiryu didn't stick around longer when he popped up in Yakuza Like a Dragon, because he and Kasuga would have had a hell of a lot to talk about. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth finally brings the two mainline protagonists together for an ultra-compelling and sprawling game that lives up to its subtitle. The 3.5-ish hours we got to spend roaming Honolulu and Yokohama, sprucing up the trashed Dodoko Island, and battling a megalodon-sized shark felt like a drop in the Pacific Ocean in terms of the game's scope. And that's just speaking to the gameplay. Having both Kasuga and Kiryu as playable protagonists places the story on a broad emotional spectrum that plays to the strengths of each character's worldview. Kasuga and his ridiculousness, and Kiryu and his legacy of struggle. It's a great balance between the past and the future of the Like a Dragon franchise. Over in Honolulu, Kasuga and his pals are out searching for his mother once thought dead. The map here is something to behold. It is Ryuga-Gotoku's biggest ever area for the series, beautifully designed, and the amount of detail put into it is just staggering to take in. More restaurants, shops, minigames, and sub-stories are available, and locations to unlock bond conversations with Kasuga's teammates are now conveniently marked on the map. The bigger map also means more transportation options. Aside from the taxi stands, trolley lines are all around Honolulu, which is a more relaxed option to take in the sights and have conversations with Kasuga's teammates along the way. Lastly, Kasuga acquires a rechargeable Segway through an appropriately ridiculous sub-story, which is of course much faster than running around on foot, less rigid than the set locations of trolleys and cabs, and extremely goofy looking. All around, a net positive.
Get wrecked! Alright, let's go!
Infinite Wealth continues the same turn-based combat as Yakuza Like a Dragon. It either works for you or it doesn't, and if you're in the former camp, the studio has made some definite improvements to that system that make it feel more engaging and give you more ways to act strategically. It seems simple, but having a circle in which to move around gives a real advantage when it comes to actions like utilizing nearby objects as weapons or sneaking behind an enemy to perform a powerful back attack. The command interface has also been improved and personified a bit. Tag team moves are no longer hidden in skill lists, but shown directly next to the command menu. Maybe the best improvement in this category is an easier way to avoid fighting entirely. In Yakuza Like a Dragon, it got a little annoying to get tangled up with some low-level street freaks when you're just trying to get from point A to point B, especially if they were so low-level that the experience earned from fighting them wouldn't really make a difference. In Infinite Wealth, enemies are now color-coded by strength, and they're a little bit less sensitive to you running by them when you're out in the street going about your business.
Say the show, dipshit.
There's so much to say about just hanging out in Honolulu that this video could go on for an hour. There are new friends.
Aloha!
Yo!
There's an abundance of job changes.
Let's smooth things over.
You can go swimming in the ocean. Basically, Hawaii is a blast, and it's filled with hidden gems and a fantastic sense of humor that we've come to expect from the Yakuza series.
Super crazy delivery!
Next, we checked out Dondoko Island, which many people have already called, rightfully, Like a Dragon's Animal Crossing. The garbage-filled landmass gets Kasuga as its one-man cleanup crew with the goal of building it up into a 5-star resort. Aside from much more violent spearfishing, the mechanics of picking up shells and netting bugs is pretty much identical to Animal Crossing, and time passes in a similar fashion.
Gotcha!
Kasuga has a cozy house to decorate, he can buy junk from the island's general store, and he can craft new items by acquiring resources like wood and stone. But in true Like a Dragon fashion, even the serene Dondoko Island isn't immune to a little fighting here and there. It's the one place where the game turns back into an action brawler to take out pirates and other threats.
Get lost, will ya?
All in all, it's a nice break from the main storyline and could legitimately be its own standalone game that cozy gamers sink 300 hours into without batting an eyelash. Jumping over to Yokohama, Kiryu's point of view begins, and the tone of the storyline turns significantly more melancholy and existential. Spoiler alert, Kiryu has cancer, and his new buddies from Kasuga's old squad encourage him to write a bucket list of things that he wants to do before he dies.
You got quite a bit on there.
At the top of the list is, yes, karaoke.
So hard to hold on to the people we love.
On top of those tasks, the map is littered with callouts to take nostalgia trips that replay parts of Kiryu's life. The quick 30 or so minutes we played in Yokohama felt like the beginning of what would probably serve as a long, bittersweet goodbye to Kiryu.
Ah, that takes me back.
In many ways, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a watershed moment for the franchise. It's quite likely a final send-off for the cancer-stricken underworld legend Kiryu and the official induction ceremony for Kasuga as Kiryu's successor in the series moving forward. It's no surprise then that RGG has put an immense amount of effort and time into making a massive game that ups the ante on the nearly 20 years of titles that came before it, while also nailing the balance of silly and serious. Basically, we have no reason to believe that this game isn't gonna rule.
What's up, Nancy? You wanna play or something?
For more on the Like a Dragon series and everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.